r/AskReddit by Reddit and chill. You have entered a useless fact competition where whoever has the most useless fact wins $1 million. What fact do you have up your sleeve? Spoonfeed is the longest word in the English dictionary with its letters in reverse alphabetical order. Well, that is useless. It's very cool, but man, there's exactly nothing you can do with that fact. Our Reddit accounts are the same age. I am so happy for you too. Lego is the world's largest tire manufacturer by unit. How is this useless? How is it useful? Trivia nights. On Twitter, the KFC Twitter account follows exactly 11 people. The 5 former Spice Girls and 6 guys named Herb. 11 herbs and spices. Edit. Duck. For some reason they followed some random ass account too. Whatever ducking in turn is running that Twitter account about to get ducked up. The random dude is the first guy that pointed it out. He also received a painting of him and the colonel riding a horse, I believe. Username checks out. That is an awesome fact. It appears to be 5 spices and 6 herbs, and a random one. Bookkeeper is the only word in the English language with 3 double letters in a row. If Jeopardy didn't do me dirty. Also, the largest penguin is the emperor penguin, which stands at roughly 4 feet tall. The fact that some penguins are only a foot shorter than me is kind of terrifying. Thank you for this. You're 5 feet tall? Also, would it make you feel better to know that there are also fairy penguins, which are usually 1.5 feet? Yep, I'm super short, haha. That does make me feel better. Thank you. 40 is the only number spelled with letters in alphabetical order. 1 is the only number with letters in backwards alphabetical order. Wow, thanks for that useless fact. I won't remember it in 10 minutes. Pineapples used to be rented by rich people just to display them at their parties. Pineapples are both a sign of hospitality and of swinging, which is arguably a form of super hospitality. There are more airplanes in the sea than submarines in the sky. Prove it. Gravity. Audible hissing noises. Sea turtles have a 30-minute orgasm. No, from experience? No, all the ones I experienced were just faked ones. r/Susa Debbie Woods. The first recorded Yo Mama joke was inscribed on a tablet in ancient Babylon some 3,500 years ago. The joke said, "Of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her." What is it? Is that a solid burn? I can't tell. Your mama's so old, she got that joke the first time. I think it's a really convoluted way to call someone a mother ducker. Is that a solid burn? I can't tell. So solid. It's inscribed on a clay tablet. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Cut a $2 bill in half. Now there's 294. I kept thinking you meant 2 billion and I got confused for a while. Combinations or permutations? The anus of a snail is located right above its mouth. Your mom's anus is located above my mouth. Nice, that means she is earning her money yet again. LOL. Touche. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The correct name for the is Octothorpe. Good to know. Not useless because now I'm going to confuse people with that. Octothorpe useless fact. I'm saving this for later to use on my friends. The written symbol, :, is called a dog's bollocks and denotes a pause in writing. There are many in the United States Declaration of Independence. Also Shakespeare's works if I remember correctly. What? You egg : Pillbugs are actually crustaceans, not insects. I read that as pit bulls and was very, very confused, especially when someone else posted a link like holy shit. Isopups. All insects have 6 legs, so pillbugs, millipedes, centipedes and nyctipedes are all not insects. I have more ancestors than all of my previous ancestors. You also come from a line of women, all of whom had babies. Not a one them died childless. I'm a guy, I hope I don't have to get pregnant. The weather in Portland, Ohio on the 5th of March, 1399 is unknown. 10. When it was raining. Wait, that's Portland, Oregon. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that the weather in Portland, Ohio on the 6th of March, 1399 is also unknown. I'm gonna have to strive for a long one here, but I would be confident saying that Portland, Ohio on the 7th of March, 1399 has an unknown weather. I once shaved my pubic hair into a perfect square because I wanted to look like an android. Go 3D. Make it a pube cube. Pick. The skin on your anus is the same type as the skin on your lips. Octothorpe anus lips. Someone called? 18 minutes old account. Nice try. And used to be the 27th letter of the alphabet, and it was sung at the end of the alphabet song after Z saying and percent, which was later shorted to ampersand. Also asterisk just means little star. Little Mary donned her skates upon thin ice to frisk. Wasn't she a silly girl, her little asterisk? Every 60 seconds in Africa 1 minute passes. Yes, and the floor is made out of floor. If a giraffe drinks coffee, it will be cold by the time it gets to its stomach. What if he boofs it? The Canadian-US border is the longest undefended border in the world. It's also the longest international border in the world, period, as far as I know. You can't flex your erection without also clenching your butthole. Not with that attitude. When one enters in attack mode, the other goes by defense mode. As a female, I did not need to know this. The human brain weighs about 8 pounds. There are 336 dimples on a golf ball. No number from 1 to 999 has the letter A in it. Dr. Seuss invented the word nerd. Pogonophobia is the fear of beards. Thanks to all that responded. I love IT. No number from 1 to 999 has the letter A in it. Zwanzig. Can't be true because 789. George Washington was 6 feet 2. He was 6 foot 20 ducking killing for fun. Spread Delaware. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He'll save children but not the British children. He'll save children but not the British children. Cockroaches can bite you. Thanks for this nightmare fuel. In the United States, when people say that Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is third in line to become president, that's wrong. She's actually second in line, only assuming the presidency if Vice President Pence left. This misconception happens because Trump is currently the president. Then Pence would be. Then Pelosi. And since 3 people are involved, people assume she is third in line. This has yet to actually come anywhere near close to happening. For obvious reasons. So, you tell me that I moved one up the line? I never thought of it like that. If everyone else in the United States dies, I immediately become president. Now, how to go about it? Once Australia declared a war against emus and somehow lost. R/emu war flashbacks. An ant's heart is located in its butt. The real life name of the dog character Eddie from the TV show Frasier is Moose. And as time passed, more and more scenes were done by his son, Enzo. Moose couldn't do all his tricks because of age. From season 8, Enzo took over the role. If every person on the planet joined hands to make a ring around the planet, about half of them would drown. If you took all the blood vessels out of a person and laid them end to end, that person would die. Video Killed the Radio Star was the first music video on MTV. The main singer's son accidentally shot and killed his mother with a 1,000,000,000-to-1 shot involving a ricochet with a BB gun. Very tragic, and the guilt has plagued him. Blood is a tissue. A liquid tissue. How does that work? Blood is a collection of similar blood cells making it a tissue. Booby trap spelled backwards as party boob. Finsbury Parker Place and Tube Station in London. Spelled backwards as crappy rub sniff. There's 5 boxes of Apple Jacks downstairs in my pantry. Nice. For the kids to drink. There are no numbers in Braille. There is a number symbol that signifies the letter symbol, S. That follow it represent numbers. Epstein didn't kill himself. It's useless because no one will ever do anything about it. Shark teeth were one of the first objects used by men to shave their beards before razors were invented. A whale's penis is called a dork. Today I learned I am a whale penis. When water is frozen into ice in nature, it isn't truly solid. Ice is wet. What I mean is that there is a very small molecular layer of liquid water that can't freeze because it has bonds with various impurities that lower its freezing point. The easiest way to overcome this obstacle would be by cooling the ice with liquid nitrogen. making the temperature low enough to freeze this outer layer of non-pure water. It could then be said that you have solid ice. That seems like it might have some applications though, not entirely useless. Suppose you need to find 4 points on the surface of the earth which are equidistamped and also all on drier land. It is very difficult because there is too much ocean. Unless you pick as one of your points Rapa Nui, aka Easter Island, you then get long answer solutions. Is there a missing restriction? Like a minimum length or something? I could pace off 4 points right now, couldn't I? 4 equidistant points form a tetrahedron. Since the earth is, effectively, spherical, that fixes the length without any additional constraint. The dot above INJ is called tittle. Almonds are not nuts, they are part of the peach family. Saying chew a clit fast repeatedly kind of sounds like saying chocolate with a Jersey accent. That was not useless. Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube had a second Luigi model in the files called Luigi which had no shading. During the Spanish Civil War, the Loyalist side used live turkeys as edible parachutes for supply drops behind enemy lines. Medical supplies and ammunition, including dynamite, were strapped to the turkey's legs and the birds were shoved out of biplanes over Loyalist holdouts behind the fascist lines. A banana is technically a berry. Pac-Man was originally named Puck-Man but they changed it because people could vandalize it and make the P a F so it's F-Man. Also Canada has a provincial park larger than Switzerland. Wiscasset, Waterville and Farmington Railway 9 is also Kennebec Central Railroad 4, Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes Railroad 6, Sandy River Railroad 5, and Portland Engine Company 622. Go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog, is a palindrome. Same forward and backwards, including the exclamation point. Technically the plural of platypus is platypodes. It's not platykittens, that just seems unfair. A googolplex is such a ridiculously large number, there is not enough matter in the known universe to be able to write it down. If you like big numbers, you'll love Graham's number. Graham's number is much larger than many other large numbers such as Skew's number and Moses' number, both of which are in turn much larger than a googolplex. As with these, it is so large that the observable universe is far too small to contain an ordinary digital representation of Graham's number, assuming that each digit occupies one Planck volume, possibly the smallest measurable space. But even the number of digits in this digital representation of Graham's number would itself be a number so large that its digital representation cannot be represented in the observable universe, nor even can the number of digits of that number, and so forth, for a number of times far exceeding the total number of Planck volumes in the observable universe. Mango juice is my favorite juice. Underground is the only English word to start and end with the same 3 letters. Flamingo's knees are anatomically backwards. Actually those aren't their knees, those are its ankles. The largest organ the human body has is your skin. Well, if it will gain me $1 million, then it won't be very useless, will it? Napoleon's dong was cut after he died by Lorena Bobbitt's great-great-great-great-grandmother. Daddy long legs aren't actually spiders. They're just kinky ass bugs. If you hammer a spoon so it's inside out, it's still a functional spoon. Uncopyrightable is the longest English word with no letter duplicates, if Alexa's trivia was correct. Even if they had vocal cords, the shape of the American moose's esophagus would make it impossible for them to pronounce the word lasagna. The word useless has 7 letters in it. In the original RoboCop movie, ED-209's growls and screeches were recordings of a mountain lion and a tiger mixed together, and a distressed pig respectively. The role was meant for Sylvester Stallone but he passed, so they made the armor less bulky and hired Peter Weller after he mimicked a hawk's head movements during the auditions. When playing the role of the film's villain, Clarence Bodinger, actor Kurtwood Smith decided to wear glasses to make the character resemble former Nazi chief Heinrich Himmler. The scene in which Clarence flirts with Dong Jones' receptionist and leaves chewing gum on her desk was Kurtwood acting with his actual wife. If you count to 10 with your fingers, you will discover that you only have 10 fingers. A pig's orgasm lasts for 30 minutes. Whoa, same with sea turtles. I learned about 2 animal orgasms from this post. There's more chickens in the world than people. Before the crowbar was invented, crows had to drink at home. Will Smith doesn't actually exist. Art's post uses 120 letters. Actually, that is useful for Reddit analytics. Alright, r/dat beautiful. Where's my bar chart of top post by letter use? I would actually love to see this. There are only 4 US states whose capital and state names begin with the same letter of the alphabet. Dover, Delaware, Honolulu, Hawaii, Indianapolis, Indiana, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now you know. Did you know that 100% of the people who breathe oxygen die? No wonder most people die in hospitals. So do 100% of the people who don't breathe oxygen. The filling in a Kit Kat is old, crushed up Kit Kats that didn't meet standards. Then how was the first Kit Kat made? I ain't giving the goods away for no fake internet points. Show me the money. St. John's Wood is the only London Underground station that does not contain any letters from the word mackerel. The manual for the original net version of A Boy and His Blog says that there are grape jelly beans, but they don't actually exist in the game. John Dalton was colorblind. That's why colorblindness is also called daltonism. I can put my tongue in 3 loops. Hugh Grant has 2 middle names, John and Mungo, so his name is Hugh John Mungo Grant. So he has no middle name. I'm embarrassed how long it took me to realize your joke. Raccoons can live for hours before they die. The word factoid actually means something that sounds true but is actually false. The world does not need to know this. BuzzFeed wants to know your location. Excluding William Blake, the other major, male, romantic poets died in the reverse order they were born. Wordsworth, Coleridge, Byron, Shelley, Keats, Shelley, Byron, Coleridge, Wordsworth. Tessera decades, after cataracts, and sweet addresses are the longest words you can type using only your left hand. On my phone I can type any word using one thumb. Sweet addresses are sweet. The human sperm has 25 mitochondria in its tail. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. This is what a white bellbird sounds like. The original meaning of the word debacle is the rupture of a glacier due to accumulating water. I'm that guy who knows a bunch of random useless shit. Useless even for trivia night. My most obscure fact is that the first snowfall in the Battle of Stalingrad took place on the 6th of October, 1942 at around 9:56 p.m. Somehow arousing. Please keep going. When you say the syllables of cat attack in reverse order, it still sounds like cat attack. Most of the cells in your body are bacterial, not human. A Shania Twain album is one of the top selling albums of all time, up there with Michael Jackson's Thriller, AC/DC's Back in Black, the Eagles' Hotel California and Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. There's Shania Twain's Come On Over. Let's Go Girls. Every album is one of the top selling albums of all time, if the list is long enough. Ants are mean. For me it was usually uncles. Source: his childhood. Sequoia is a word that contains every vowel. But, sometimes does it have a Y in it? When spelled by a second grader. Joseph Glidden was one of the inventors of barbed wire. The opening day of trout fishing season in central NY is the 1st of April. I am roughly 12 inches from the nearest wall to me at the moment. A vinculum is the name for a horizontal line used in mathematics that shows the figures below the line are in a group. A great example of a vinculum is found in fractions, the line that divides the numerator from the denominator. Impossible game. The second most useless fact is the correct answer, because the most useless fact now has the use of winning you $1 million. But this gets to the pop quiz paradox, where if you know you won't be expecting the quiz, it can't be on Friday because you'd expect it, you rule out Friday, and then do the same for Thursday, Wednesday, etc. until you've ruled out all the days. But the fact remains, whoever wins actually shouldn't have because their fact won them $1 million. But once the first fact is shown to be useful and gets removed from the list, The second fact becomes the first fact and then it wins you $1 million, so it's useful. 2. Thus you go through the entire list of useless facts until none are left. So my useless fact is that there are no useless facts. All of the clocks in the movie Pulp Fiction are stuck on 4:20. No, they are not. The watch Christopher Walken hands to Butch is set to 5:10, and the clocks in the pawn shop aren't set to 4:20 either. That's one of those myths. Sorry mate. In the opening scene of Pulp Fiction, Vincent Vega walks by Honey Bunny and Ringo talking about robbing the diner. Edit typos. The little plastic bit at the end of your shoelace is called an aglet. A-G-L-E-T. Aglet, don't forget it. Its true purpose is sinister. I'm trying to find a truly useless fact in this thread. So far, it's my comment of stating a truth of trying to find a truly useless fact. The law of identity is a law in logic that states that for all things, that thing is that thing. The universe is a simulation. Rats cannot throw up. Penguins do have knees. They're just hidden inside their body. Ants always fall over on their right side when intoxicated. Pigeons recognize and remember human faces. I don't view this as useless at all. Agreed. Pigeons don't mess around. I love you. And if you don't think that's useless, just tell it to my ex. Please come back. I promise I will love you better this time and I really just need affection. It's killing me that I lost you over something as stupid as the dog and I got rid of him now so you can come back. I know the damage has been done but you've always been so forgiving and I need you back in my life. I miss your eyes and your laugh and your smile. If you come back then we can say it's completely my fault. I messed up. I was wrong. And now you're gone. I'd point to a noticeable pimple on my face and go, that's a pimple. I do. So it's a fact. But it really is an utterly useless fact. I mean, what is anyone going to do with the knowledge? Mortgage literally means death pledge. Ostriches can find their human keepers sexually attractive. Hyenas give birth out of their clitoris. Otters have special pockets for their favorite rocks. The word henge is derived from the famous monument Stonehenge, which was named when henge meant something like hang, i.e., suspended stones. Archaeologists today use henge to mean a circular banked earthen mound with a ditch inside, because Stonehenge's ditch is outside. Stonehenge is not a henge. Natalia Starr and Natsaha Starr are actual siblings who shot porn together, in threesome scenes and foursome, which are basically two one-on-one scenes jammed together, since they can't even tough each other in scenes. Same with Shannon twins. Sources? I'm sure you aren't asking for porn links. So, Star Sisters. They did foursome scenes together. One MF plus MF and one FF plus FF I saw. Shannon Sisters. They did a threesome with Abella Danger and other with Nikki Delano. Thanks. There are more jugglers alive today than polar bears. Ducking, like and subscribe.